classroom, gifted on the field.
1010XL and Southeast Orthopedic Specialists celebrate scholar athletes. Wednesday afternoons on The Frangie Show. Activated by
The Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. The Friday night lights have been shining all over the First Coast. This is the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights. Friday Night Lights. Trained by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning, a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now it's time to break it all down. Here are your hosts, Ryan the Hacker Green and Dylan Denmark.
And a very good Friday evening to you, Jacksonville. The Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights, presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning with Dylan Denmark. The Hacker Ryan Green with you. We are certainly glad you are spending part of your Friday night with us. Final scores all over Northeast Florida. Here's what we have. One of the biggest games of the night out at the Graveyard. The Rains Vikings get it done by a couple of touchdowns tonight over Madison County. Rains remains undefeated on the year. You just heard the Bulls Bulldogs get a district win over Jackson. Bulls 48-0 over the Jackson Tigers. We got Ed White 36-6 over Sandalwood in the fourth quarter. Baldwin going to get a district win tonight over Wolfson. Baldwin 41-13 over the Wolfpack in the fourth quarter. Lake City Columbia over Ridgeview tonight. Riverside big over Inglewood. Other scores, Baker County and Suwannee in a back-and-forth game right now, 21-21 between Baker County and the Suwannee Bulldogs in the fourth quarter. Nice and Bartram Trail in the second half. We got Nice 10-0 over Bartram. St. Augustine was all over Clay tonight. Last score we had was 35-0 Yellow Jackets. Yulee up big on their in-county rival Fernandina Beach. Yulee will remain undefeated on the year. Oakleaf 17-0 over First Coast. And it's Ponte Vedra 27-7 over Middleburg. As I welcome in Dylan Denmark, fresh off of the Baldwin coaching staff tonight over at my alma mater, the Wolf Den at Wolfson High School. First and foremost, congratulations to your Baldwin team on the victory. Everybody had to deal with weather tonight, raining all over Northeast Florida. What were some of the elements that players had to deal with this evening?
A lot of mud fields or a lot of wet balls. And luckily over at Wolfson, the field was mostly dry, and we didn't have to deal with the rain during the game. It rained pregame before the bus got there. But, there was a lot of games I saw. Like, I know Rains was in a monsoon in the first half. Rains had the lead 7-6 at halftime. That kind of raised my eyebrow. Madison County ran the opening kickback. I guess they missed the conversion. They led 6-0, and then Rains scores a touchdown as they held on to beat Madison County 27-14. But, all across the basically from Charleston, South Carolina, all the way down to about Daytona. Everybody dealt with the rain along the coast.
It's week 8 of the high school football season, which means district championships are starting to get wrapped up. We had a couple of district championship games tonight. Creekside over Atlantic Coast. It appears that is a 3-team district. Creekside will get the victory there. Looks like they will be a district champion. And I believe the same scenario in Trinity Christian Episcopal. I got Trinity up big over Episcopal. So if I'm not mistaken, both Creekside and Trinity will be district champions by night's end.
Yeah, I know Trinity is in a district with Episcopal and Kip, and I'm trying to pull up Creekside.
It's Creekside, district. Atlantic Coast, and Sandalwood.
Yeah, that's great. And they've already beat Sandalwood 49-18, and then they're with a win tonight. So, Creekside, they didn't have it the start of the season they wanted. They lost 4 of their first 5, and they've won their last 3. And that's with the playoff system. If you are a district champion, you automatically are in the playoffs, and then it's just depending on your seeding how your strength of schedule is. And they've had a tough start of their season. They played Mandarin, one of the best teams in the state, Nice, one of the best teams in the state, in Spruce Creek, and another loss to Winter Park. So even though they've had a lot of losses, the strength of schedule is still going to help them out down the road.
A lot of other finals rolling in. It is a final. Nice 10-0 over Bartram Trail. The Columbia Tigers out of Lake City 44-0 over Ridgeview. Congratulations to Bishop Kenny, a 42-0 win over Menendez tonight. And St. Augustine, the Yellow Jackets, fresh off their bye, a 56-7 winner over Clay. Brian Braddock is the head coach of St. Augustine, and he is the first coach up here with us, Week 8, under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Hey, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Coach, the bye week obviously was good to you guys. Got some rest, got some to get recharged a little bit. You come out tonight against Clay, and based on the final score, looks like you guys really took care of business.
Yeah, the kids did a really nice job. Started pretty fast and, played well. We're excited to get out there. It was a district game. We knew if we could win and Columbia, if they would win, that we could try to seal up a district championship, so it was an important night to us.
Coach, a lot of points tonight, and you scored a lot of points throughout the season. What's been working for you guys on offense?
Oh, man, I mean, it's really just a bunch of kids all doing their job and contributing, and we're really blessed with some talented youngsters when they get the ball in their hands, and that has a way of working itself out to score a lot of points. I mean, and it's really not one guy. Our quarterback's done a great job of distributing the ball, Brenton James, and then, of course, we got talented receivers and, two really good running backs with Nate Preston and Trindell Anderson. So, all that combined, and then our offensive line, of course, they get no attention, but they're doing a tremendous job. So, really, it's more than 11 guys. It's probably 15-plus guys doing a great job, and they're all reaping the benefits of it.
Brian Braddock of St. Augustine, winners tonight. And I believe you said this, Coach, but I just want to make sure. You guys are district champions, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, congratulations again. Now, look, I mean, for you guys, obviously there are loftier goals at St. Augustine, but having said that, a district championship is still a district championship. You must be very, very pleased.
100%. Every year, if we have an opportunity to win a district championship, we have a conversation. I've got framed in my room the newspaper article when we won the district championship in the year 2000 and have not won one since the 70s. So, I think since then we've been blessed to win, maybe close to 20 out of the last 25. But I remind our kids about that article, and I show it to them and remind them of, don't feel like you're entitled to this. Like, this is special, so you need to appreciate it.
Well, congratulations. A perfect 7-0 on the year. A win tonight over Clay. You get Bartram Trail next week. Again, St. Augustine, Bartram Trail. What a game that has been in years past. Bartram has been playing better football as of late. I'm certain you guys are looking forward to that opportunity.
Absolutely. It's always a great night in St. Johns County when we get to play Bartram Trail, and we know they're going to bring their best. They've been playing better and better as the season's gone on. We know it's going to be a good game.
Well, Coach, congratulations on a district championship, and best of luck next week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Have a great weekend.
Brian Braddock of St. Augustine, the undefeated St. Augustine Yellow Jackets. And again, Denmark, loftier goals for St. Aug. We all understand that, but it has to begin with a district title, and St. Augustine locked that up tonight.
Yeah, they're undefeated on the year. Most impressive win, obviously, on the schedule is Bowles way back in week 3 when they beat them 40-35. I was looking at the quarterback, Brenton James. I don't know if you've seen him play.
Great player.
That is a tall dude. He is every bit of 6'4", 6'5", and a really good player, like you mentioned. He's very mobile. I think like every game I'm looking at max reps on the box score, like every game he's got like pretty much at least a standard of almost 300 yards and 3 passing touchdowns.
And keep in mind, look who he's replacing. Replacing Lachlan Hewlett, who was great at St. Aug, is now at USF. It's not easy to replace a guy like that at the quarterback position. Brenton James has come in and done an absolutely fantastic job. From St. Johns County to Nassau County, Gunnar Cox of West Nassau, they are winners tonight over Satellite, 26-13. Coach joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you. We had a long bus ride, got hit with a lot of weather. We got down there, the game started at 7. We got down there at 6, so it was just, we had a lot of adversity hitting us in this game, but we pulled out the W.
And that's a good Satellite team that you beat. They were previously undefeated. You guys took care of that this evening. Coach, I mean, you look at your record, you're now 8-1, correct?
Yes, sir.
I mean, 8-1, Coach. Did you realize in the spring or summer or even early on in fall camp that you had a team that could go 8-1?
Yeah, I mean, we last year we went 9-2 and we got majority of the starters coming back. The team is the team they really hit the weight room, and I just trying to keep my kids straightforward and all that stuff. But we've had I expected big things out of this group, and we're going to keep bigger things from them.
Coach, I'm looking at, we talked to you, it was either last week or the week prior. You got 4 running backs before tonight that had almost either 400 yards or more. I'm assuming with the way the weather was tonight, that works well in your favor tonight.
Oh, it was huge. We was talking to, the satellite people. I think we were the only game in Brevard County. It was wet, it was muddy and all that stuff. So it really hit beneficial for our offense because, we love to run the ball a lot, and it really paid for us in the end.
Gunnar Cox of West Nassau, winners down at Satellite in Brevard County. The Warriors are now 8-1 on the year. Coach, your schedule's an interesting one. I believe you have your bye next week, then your season finale, and then the postseason, correct?
Yes, we need our much bye week. We got one more game. I'm preaching to my kids right now. We're going to try to tie our regular season our best again. Last year was 9. We're going to do 9 again, hopefully this year. And I told my kids, we plan to make a hopefully a state championship run in SSAA.
Well, Coach, congratulations, 8-1. What a fantastic season it has been to this point. Get rested during the bye week, and we hope we're talking to you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you. Go Warriors.
Gunnar Cox of West Nassau. Denmark, they've put quite the season together.
Yeah, and it looks like Dixie County, who they're going to play after that bye week, is they're 1-6. So you would assume that West Nassau is going to win that game, and then it's going to be the playoffs for them. So great job for Coach Gunnar Cox and that the whole team they have over there for West Nassau.
Riverside, a big winner tonight, a big district winner tonight over Inglewood. Antoine Nicholas of Riverside, always kind enough to join us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I definitely appreciate it.
Coach, it's a big district win. There's no doubt about that. A dominating performance for you guys over Inglewood, and I'm sure a performance that has your whole team feeling pretty good right now.
Oh yeah, it's always a good job, man. A good blessing for those guys to come out here, get a win, as well as work on some things and bettering ourselves. So it's always good when we can get that W.
Coach, short week before you play bowls next week. Although the season hasn't been the way you wanted to go, you still have everything in front of you. You have the district championship against Ed White. What do you guys need to work on these next game or two to get that accomplished?
Yeah, just protecting the football, man, controlling what we can control, playing our game. I think that's the biggest thing, just focusing on those details. It's hard to beat other people when you're turning the ball over. And even tonight we had 3. So those are some things we're focusing on for us cleaning up, protecting the football.
Antoine Nicholas of Riverside. Coach, as Denmark mentioned, not the season you probably wanted or envisioned, but none of that matters. Everything is still in front of you. You get a great opportunity next week against one of the best in not only the area, but the state and bowls. And then that Ed White game, I mean, that's the playoffs for you. If you beat Ed White, you will be in the postseason.
Yeah, it's a challenging schedule, man. We embraced the challenge for us playing the schedule. I think it was a thing for some of the guys, being in situations that they wasn't used to, and stepping up and getting that experience. We welcome the challenge for us to schedule. And just staying healthy and clicking at the right time, protecting the football has been big, thing that we just haven't been doing a good job at. So just correcting us and taking it one game at a time. Who
was scoring a lot of your touchdowns tonight for Riverside, Coach?
Oh, man, Demetrius Hugger. He had 3 receiving. Zion got on the board. Audric Washington had 2. A guy has been working hard. Getting on the field and doing different things. Mitch came back this week. He threw 3 touchdowns. Jaden threw 3 as well. So we had some things rolling. A punt return by CT, Caleb Thomas. So we had some things rolling tonight. Just excited to get the win, as well as moving in the right direction and just building off that momentum for success.
Well, Coach, congratulations. A big district victory tonight. Best of luck next week against the Bowls Bulldogs.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Antoine Nicholas of Riverside, winners tonight over Inglewood. All right, before we step aside, let's go over a scoreboard update. By the way, I don't like 3-team districts. I make no bones about that. Having said that, in a 3-team district, Riverside is a prime example of why you just continue to play. Because even though their season has not gone well, all of a sudden now, because of a 3-team district, they find themselves in a position where if they beat Ed White in 2 weeks, they will be in the playoffs.
Yeah, and it's essentially a 2-game season. I mean, you win those 2 games, you're in the playoffs regardless. And that's happened sometimes. You'll see the playoffs. You're like, how does the team 3-7 make the playoffs? Oh, they won the 3 games that are in their district. So sometimes it happens to where, the way the classes are set up, the classifications, and you look at your area, there's only 3 teams that fit that criteria, and that's what happened in that classification.
It is a final on Greenland Road. The Mandarin Mustangs, a big district victory over Fletcher, 22-13. We'll catch up with Toby Bullock of Mandarin coming up in a bit. Ed White, a winner tonight, 49-6 over Sandalwood. Again, Denmark, give your Baldwin Indians some love. You guys got a district win, 41-13. I think at this point, you guys got to be thinking about the playoffs, right? I mean, you guys win the rest of your games, you're going to be in the postseason.
Yeah, right now we're a 6th seed for what that's worth. Ribault, Andrew Jackson, the last district game, and then Ed White's our last game. 3 games, you got to win 2 of the 3 definitely. And the way that region's set up, it's a tough region with Bowles being at the top. And we got Ribault and Jackson. A lot of good athletes the next 2 weeks, and we got a work cut out for us.
We'll definitely catch up with Donovan Maslin of Rains. They were big winners tonight over Madison County. How about Baker County in overtime? Defeat Live Oak Suwannee 28-21. Wow. They're going nuts out there at Memorial Stadium in Baker County. What a huge win for the Wildcats over Live Oak Suwannee. Nice 10-0 over Bartram Trail. Lake City Columbia 44-0 shutout over Ridgeview. Likewise, Bishop Kenny a 42-0 shutout over Menendez. And again, the game you heard right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM, Bowles 48-0 over the Jackson Tigers. We're just getting underway under the Friday Night Lights. Many more victorious head coaches to come with Dylan Denmark. The Hacker Ryan Green with you, the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Friday Night Lights were presented by Duck Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Every great engine has something special under the hood.
Woo! Hey, you want to drive?
It's the Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville drive of the game
Boom, drive it, set up, there you go.
on 1010XL.
Gotta be 6, fellas. We gotta get 6.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
This right here, this is where it starts. With a little flame and a lot of love. When the air cools or the night falls, fire brings the warmth. But it's what we bring to the table that matters. Slow smoked barbecue. Stories that stretch long. Laughter that lingers. And moments that just feel full. That's why it's always Sonny's here.
You can't go inside your home team's locker room, so Jags beat reporter Hayes Carline goes there for you.
Work on 3, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hayes Carline here. Find my blog at 1010XL.com.
Brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing, where quality and experience count.
It's the fall savings event going on now at Renewal by Anderson. Upgrading your home has never been easier. Get 20% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires October 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
Pickett here with a game winner. It's Checkmate Coatings. I've scouted them all. And this Jacksonville crew's the real deal.
I'm Brendan, owner of Checkmate Coatings. We transform pool decks, driveways, and patios with pro precision.
Score big at checkmatecoatings.com. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When mice and rats show up in your home or business, they can be a real pain. You need them out fast, before they have time to multiply. Terminex knows how to shut down rodents and will keep them from coming back to wreak more havoc. When rodents show up, so does Terminex. Don't live with a rodent problem, Terminex it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online just like I did. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose Duck Duck Rooter, the area's most trusted service company. We're licensed, insured, and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations, septic tank pump outs, drain field installations, and full air conditioning service, we do it all. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Here's your 1010XL community calendar of local events and nonprofit groups helping people here at home.
It's an evening of connection, laughter, and friendly competition, celebrating the creativity and resilience of our community with costumes, bowling, and prizes. To find out more about the Community Bowling Costume Party October 24th, contact Rebel Recovery.
If you'd like to help dogs find new homes, you can enjoy food, drinks, music, and of course, dogs at the Fall Fermi Festival, November 8th. Find out more at kprok9.com.
Find out how you can be part of the cure for blood cancer at the Light the Night Walk at ViStar Ballpark, November 22nd. Take the first step at lightthenight.org.
The Hometown for Heroes Home Buyers Program helps you get your down payment and closing costs paid. Call to learn more. 574-7180.
You can find out how to share your community event at 1010XL.com.
Frank Frangie here for Coyle & Sons Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember the 2017 AFC Championship game when Miles Jack wasn't down? You know what else isn't down? Fences installed by Coyle. Their fences have been standing tall here in Jacksonville for nearly a century. Since 1927, Coyle has been the fencing leader in Northeast Florida. If you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle & Sons today at 904-356-4821, CoyleJacks.com. That's C-O-Y-L-E Jacks.com. Coyle Fencing, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
I know football.
Now, the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Coaches Corner on 1010XL.
That's why we pay R.J. Saunders the big bucks. There is absolutely no doubt about that. With Dylan Denmark, the hacker Ryan Green with you. There was a big one in St. Johns County tonight between Nice and Bartram Trail, a defensive battle, and Nice gets it done, 10-0. Colin Drafts, the head coach of Nice, joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Yes, sir. Good to talk to you guys again. Thanks for having me on.
There's no doubt. I mean, obviously, a defensive battle. Weather was playing a factor tonight. There was, some off-the-field stuff going into this game as well. So this win must feel very, very good for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it feels great. I mean, all the stuff you said is there, right? But at the end of the day, we're getting out of here on the bus, heading back to Nice with a win. You know, it's been almost a month. We lost, we lost the St. Augustine game and the Buchholz game. Then we had a bye week, So it's been a while since we've been, had that winning feeling, and it feels good just to get it done.
Coach, how did the weather play a factor tonight on your offense?
I mean, well, both of us. I mean, it was miserable. I mean, it was as soon as you step foot on the field for warm-ups, your shoes sink in, 4 or 5 inches, and then it just poured rain the entire first half. So it was just hard. I mean, we might have completed 2 or 3 passes the entire game. Same for them. It was just bad snaps and fumbles, and just it was a mud bowl, And that's just, that's equal for both teams. You got to deal with the elements, and we were able to do that.
Colin Drafts of Nice, big winners tonight over Bartram Trail. Coach, it seems like your bye week came at a great time for you. You were 5-0, all was right with the world. You had a back-and-forth game against St. Augustine, could have gone either way. Buchholz just looks really, really good right now. You take 14 days off, you kind of get refocused, reprogrammed, if you will. You come out with a big district win tonight. Did that bye week come at a perfect time?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it did. I always hate it when we happen to lose going into a bye week because the only thing that makes us feel better is to go win a football game, and you don't have that opportunity. But in reality, it was probably perfect time for us to kind of lick our wounds and recalibrate and figure out how we can get better. And so it was perfect time. And like I said, we're sitting here 5-2, with 3 games left to play, and feeling pretty good about it.
Coach, you had a linebacker, if I'm not mistaken, today that committed to Oklahoma. Tell us about that young man.
Yeah, Jacob Curry was all over the field tonight. I don't know what his stat line was, but every time I looked up, he was tackling somebody in the backfield. I mean, he was an absolute animal. Committed to Oklahoma officially, and he's just a great player and a great kid. But, I mean, if you look at what our defense was able to do tonight, again, they were probably somewhere, I'm just guesstimating here, maybe 100 total yards the whole game. They were just all over the field. And every time that our offense couldn't get, anything going, we even had a punt block, where they got the ball probably at their plus 30-yard line and they still didn't score. It was a one-score game for the majority of the game until we kicked a late field goal. So they were just top-notch, man, just happy for those, our players and our defensive staff putting that plan together. And to come out against Bartram and get that shutout is a big deal for us.
I told you this at high school media day. That is an impressive young man, Jacob Curry. And for him to go to a place like Oklahoma, obviously the talent speaks for itself. And you got some good ones down there at Nice, and he's one of the best that I've talked to in a long time.
No, I agree. Coming into, after his junior year, he didn't get his first Division I offer, and it was from New Mexico State. I think it was a calendar year ago. And he had some good offers coming into his senior year. But in the past month or 2 months, just based off of that, the first 4 or 5 games, his tape has been phenomenal. And that's why you've seen him pick up, obviously committed to Oklahoma. He's got the Florida State offer, the Ohio State offer, all these, kind of blue blood, blue chip caliber programs, wanted him to play there. And I think it's a perfect fit for him. To go to Oklahoma. I know he really felt at home and loves, Coach Venables and what they're doing, and obviously they're having a heck of a year, so we're excited for him, and we've got some good players on the team for sure.
Well, Nice gets to 5-2 on the year, a big district win tonight over in-county rival Bartram Trail, and you get Atlantic Coast next week. Colin Drafts of Nice, congratulations, Coach.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys having me. Have a good night.
Always appreciate Coach Drafts joining us here under the Friday Night Lights. From one victorious head coach to another, Don Velvet, the head coach of Baldwin, big winners tonight over my alma mater, the Wolfson Wolfpack. And Coach Velvet joins us here on 1010XL. Coach, congratulations.
Hey, appreciate you, Hack.
Coach, I will tell you this. Offensively, the entire year, you guys are quite the story, man. I mean, you're putting up 40 burgers basically every week. What is working so well for you guys on offense?
Well, we got a senior Latin team on the offensive side of the ball, man. I think maybe about 7 of our 11 guys are seniors. They've been playing for us for a while, so they're pretty much savvy in everything that we do.
Coach, Gage Cruz gets a lot of the headlines with him being the quarterback, him breaking a school record against Bowles, and a lot of receivers on the outside. But Nashawn Jacobs, who got the All Gateway last year at running back. Not a lot of people know that as a sophomore, he wasn't even a tailback, and we had somebody get hurt, and he had to fill in as a defensive guy. That's now a head coach. Where have you seen the biggest leap from him from what he was 2 years ago to now?
Shoot, man, he's always been a dog, in my eyes, in a lot of ways, just understanding his role for the team. He's really the catalyst for the offense, if you ask me. He's a hard-nosed runner, a playmaker at every, level, being it with the ball. Anytime he gets the ball in his hands, be it pass, be it run, he makes plays.
Matt Toblin of Bowles comes up in less than 2 minutes. We got Don Velvet, the head coach of Baldwin right now. They were winners 41-13 tonight over Wolfson. To speak to the earlier offensive point, Coach, you have not scored less than 28 points this year, and we're 7 games in. That's unbelievably impressive. 5-2, the home stretch to come begins next week against Ribault. Do you like where you guys are going into the last 3 games of the year?
Yeah, I gotta like it. I gotta like where we are. It is some things that we can do better. Offense, special teams, defense as well. But definitely, man. As of this year, man, our offense is carrying us. I feel like they've pretty much shown that they can score against anybody, and they're pretty much holding us down. So I expect it, for the rest of the season to pretty much be that way.
Well, Baldwin, a big winner tonight again over the Wolfson Wolfpack. Don Velvet, Coach, congratulations.
All right, appreciate you, Hacker.
Denmark, 7 games in. You haven't scored less than 28 points. You're on that Baldwin staff. Your offense is cooking.
Yeah, we have, I think, 4 seniors on the offensive line, senior quarterback and running back, and then we have a lot of speed at receiver. Last year we got third in the 4x1, and the year prior we finished third before we got DQ'd. And a couple of those guys are receivers, so it's a pretty good all around on the offensive side.
Speaking of offense that's cooking, well, that's the Bowles Bulldogs. They were big winners tonight over Jackson. It was homecoming out at Bowles. Jackson loses 48-0 to Bowles. Their head coach is Matt Toblin. He joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Coach, the bye week last week, coming off Xander Edwards' all-world performance 2 weeks ago. What did you do in the bye week to improve your football team? And obviously it worked because you guys had a dominating performance tonight.
Well, bye week has a couple of goals to it, and one of them is rest up and get some injured guys back, and so that was a good week for us. But we want to work on us, and so like defensively, we spent a bunch of time working through tackling, and then offensively, we kind of installed the things that we would need. We kind of mapped out like, hey, by the end of the year, these are the things that we want to make sure that we're able to do, and then, but the real thing is, and the awesome thing about our team is we competed. There's a lot of times where you get in a bye week and you rest, but like we were going. It was offense versus defense, and pride was the only thing on the line. But we had some intense practices because our kids love to compete and practice, and they had music going, and we were doing third down scrimmages, and it was as hype as as we could have a practice. And so I'm really proud of those guys and how they approached that, but then how they approached this week as well.
Coach, so speaking on this week, short week against Riverside, 3 days of practice. Man, I do not like these Thursday games. Hack, you got to accelerate your whole plan of what you got to do. What do you guys got to do the next three practices to get ready for Riverside?
So I mean, you're right, and luckily we at this point early in the season it's a huge deal. As the year goes on, you have to trim your install a little bit. Like you put less new stuff in. You're going to run some of your classic stuff. But we're also, our kids at this point are conditioned, to the point where, hey, look, we're going to have a Monday. We're going to have a normal Monday, Tuesday, and then our Wednesday practice. We're not going to walk through. Like we're going to go, and that. And so we're going to get our kind of normal install in. We don't have school on Thursday, so we'll bring them in Thursday and hit a walkthrough beforehand. And our kids just need to be, we preach to them all the time about being professionals and detail-oriented kind of players. And so this does accelerate the clock a little bit. It puts a little bit more onus on our kids, but they've constantly risen to the challenges that we put in front of them.
Matt Toblin of Bowles. And again, shame on me, Coach. I guess this is just an expectation, but you guys are district champions tonight. I asked Brian Braddock the same thing earlier. I'll ask you. Obviously, much loftier goals, but I'm sure you took time out in the postgame to celebrate a district title.
We do, and that's a big deal. We talk to our kids about earning more opportunities to play, that you're only guaranteed, as a team, we're only guaranteed 10 games, and that we do everything we do and all the work we do is to earn opportunities to continue to extend this season as long as possible. And so getting this win, gives us one more, and then it's our job to make sure that we're prepared to continue to earn one more, as we go throughout a playoff run.
Well, Coach, congratulations again. We'll be hearing you Thursday night next week, an early game for Bowles as they take on Riverside. Matt Toblin, congratulations, Coach.
Thank you guys very much, and again, always appreciate what you guys do for high school sports.
Thank you. And look, St. Augustine and Bowles are kind of in the same boat. You knew they were going to win district titles. You're expecting them to make deep playoff runs. But having said that, you need to congratulate those kids on winning that district title because that's always the goal every single year.
Yeah, and I mean, you're talking about, the offense of what they've done. They haven't scored. The fewest points they've scored in a game this year was all the way back in week 1 when they scored 34. Their offense is dynamic. I mean, when you have an all-state back and Xander Edwards, and we know what he can do, and then you have Naeem on the outside, and you throw in another really good receiver on the outside behind that offensive line. it makes everybody's job pretty easy to do. And you can see, Bowles, what they're going to do. They're going to try to make a playoff run and make a state title. And they are, they're 6-1 right now with 3 games left on their schedule.
Yeah, there's no doubt they're playing very, very good football. And again, their only loss on the year came to St. Augustine. What a game against Baker County and Live Oak Suwannee. It looks like Baker County got it done in overtime. Coach Brock Kennedy of Baker County joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
I appreciate it, fellas.
Coach, that's big time against Live Oak Suwannee, a game that was back and forth. We were watching it on the scoreboard the entire night. I believe you guys got it done in overtime tonight, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. It was one of those games that's a shame that someone had to go home a loser. Two teams got after one another in the conditions. It was fun to watch. It was fun to coach in, and it looked like it was fun to play in as well.
This is 3 out of 4 for you guys, Coach. I mean, the season did not get off to the start I'm sure you wanted, but having said that, 3 out of 4 now. Are you guys finding yourselves as we get into the middle part of October?
Well, we said if we could survive the first half of our strength of schedule is one of the best in our region. And, and we're a few plays away. We could easily have 4 wins right now. 6, I'm sorry. But things didn't play that way. We're playing some young guys, and we're starting to learn what good football's like. And we're cut down on mistakes, and now we're starting to get the opportunities and turn them into wins.
Hudson Register, your quarterback, he's strong as an ox and likes to run the football. How were the weather conditions there, and how were the field conditions for the game tonight?
The field held up pretty well, but it was wet. Obviously, it was wet. The wind was blowing, and that kind of played into our hands because offensively we lean on our offensive line. And obviously, Register, he is a hard, gutsy player, runs the football physically, and then he's got a good enough arm that we're a threat in the air when we need to be.
Coach, 8 consecutive games for you, and you've had a lot of games come down to the wire recently. I believe you have a bye week next week. I would think this bye week comes at a really good time before you end with Wakulla and Fort White.
Yeah, I didn't think we could ever get there fast enough, but, anytime you can go into a bye week after a win, a big district win like that, and I believe Wakulla is either beating or has beat Godby, so, 2 weeks will be for district championship over Wakulla. So excited for our guys. We kind of get a chance to catch our breath and some time to prepare for a very talented Wakulla team.
Well, it was a lot of fun out of Baker County tonight. An overtime victory over the Suwannee Bulldogs. Brock Kennedy of Baker County. Coach, congratulations on a big win.
Yes, sir. Go Cats.
Denmark, you're very familiar with that Baker County program. Obviously, you guys play them every year. Baldwin and Baker, a great rivalry. It does appear Baker is beginning to find themselves as we get deeper into the season.
Yeah, and Coach was talking about the strength of schedule early in the year, and right now they're a 7-team in the region. 8 teams make the playoffs, and Godby's 8, who they lost to a couple weeks ago, I think 17-13, and Wakulla is not too far ahead of them. So there's still a couple weeks left in the season. Baker, yeah, you got to appreciate your kids. Every game here on out's a playoff game because you don't know if a loss, how far in the rankings you're going to go down in the region.
It is the Friday Night Lights, the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Friday Night Lights, the great folks at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists have been with us for years and years and years. Their continued support of high school football here in the area. And, of course, a big part of that is the good doctor, Kevin Murphy, who joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Doc, how are you, pal?
I'm good, Hacker. How are you, buddy?
Doc, we're good. Thank you so much for the time. All right, it was wet out there tonight. Northeast Florida just in a monsoon situation. Most games did get in, but I imagine sloppy field conditions, wet, situation. That's got to make your job a little more scary on Friday nights, knowing the fields were as bad as they were all over the area.
Yeah, certainly increased risk for injuries. The turf, if it slips under your feet, more risk for ankle and knee injuries for sure.
Doc, I don't want to – I'm going to talk about Brenton Strange, right, the injury for the Jaguars. They placed the tight end on IR. There's a lot of reports out there as to what this is or what this could be. We know he's going to miss at least 4 weeks. We believe it's a hip. And Jordan Schultz of Fox Sports had a report earlier today, and that's what I'm going to read. I'm going to get your thoughts on it. Jaguar tight end Brenton Strange, sources say, who leads the team in catches, is dealing with a quad and hip injury that includes a ligament tear suffered Monday night in the win over the Chiefs. The understanding is he doesn't need surgery, but he will be sidelined at least 5 weeks. Given the circumstances, it's a positive outcome. Doc, I know that's not a ton of information to go on, but if it's a hip/quad injury with a ligament tear, would that make sense to you?
That's a whole pizza there, buddy. It's quad, hip, tendon. That's 3 separate things, they said. So, a quad injury, you injure your quad. That's like a hamstring. You rip your quad. It's less than a hamstring. Let's go back to how it looked like there was no injury. There was no contact. It was a non-contact thing. He kind of bent over, and it was like, well, what happened to him? So if he had a quad tear, much like a hamstring tear, those are 3-4 week things. If it's a grade 3, we completely tear, which is unlikely, he'd be out 3 months. So this is probably a strain of his quad. You could have a labral tear of the hip. You could have some oblique kind of core injury. Those are all 3 separate things that they said in that sentence. So we don't know what it is. So if they put him on IR, I presume that he had something that they're saying he doesn't need surgery, probably doesn't have a labral tear of his hip. It's probably a quad tear, minimal. They're going to rehab it. He'll be back in 3 weeks. They already put him out for the IR, so it's a 4-week thing. But it's probably reasonable to think that he'd be fine at about 3 weeks.
Doc, we talk about with athletes, usually with receivers or running backs, any explosive athlete, a hamstring is usually a 2 to 3, maybe a 4-week injury. Robert Hainsey gets hurt with an injury with a hamstring. Is a hamstring different from a big offensive lineman? I know you still have to explode and move, but is it different compared from a lineman to an explosive athlete?
Yeah, that's a great point, and it absolutely is. So, skill guys, explosive guys, anybody who played sports injure the hamstring. So you hurt your hamstring, you go through the rehab, it's like, hey, it feels pretty good, and then you go out and sprint. And as soon as you push off and really try to sprint like these high-end sprinter athletes, the skill guys, that's where it injures again. The pushers, the road graders, not as big a deal. So, yeah, you can come back as a pusher and as a lineman quicker than you will as a skill guy.
The good Dr. Kevin Murphy, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. All right, Doc, the Bump and Bruise Clinics all over Northeast Florida, Saturday mornings, 9 to 10. You can check out the locations by going to se-ortho.com. Doc, for the parents that are listening, for the coaches that are out there, if their child or their player sustained an injury tonight in those wet field conditions, an ankle, a knee, whatever, a wrist, a shoulder, you name it, tell them about the Bump and Bruise Clinics and the service that you guys provide.
Yeah, all comers. If you injure yourself, come on in. We can get the treatment rendered quickly, so you can get going over the weekend to minimize the issues over the weekend, so that come Monday you're back, hopefully playing. If you need something further, we'll evaluate it and get the MRIs and so forth going next week, so we can know very quickly what you need. So don't sit around letting it swell all weekend, not getting it treated.
Again, begin the treatment tomorrow morning. Begin the treatment before you even head back to school on Monday. The Bump and Bruise Clinics, locations all over the area, 9 to 10 tomorrow morning. And for the location closest to you, go check out se-ortho.com. The good doctor, Kevin Murphy of Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Doc, thank you as always. We'll talk next Friday, bud.
Thank you, boys.
Always appreciate the good doctor, Kevin Murphy, and the continued support by Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. All right, we've entered the 10 o'clock hour. More victorious head coaches to come. A complete scoreboard update with Dylan Denmark. The hacker Ryan Green with you. Jacksonville, we're glad you're with us as we roll on. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Friday Night Lights were presented by Duck Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning right here on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM.
Home of the Jaguars, 1010XL, WJXL AM and FM, Jacksonville Beach. When Jag News breaks, hear it first on 1010XL.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, you look troubled. Is something bugging you?
This friendship isn't all upside for me, Jason. People keep asking me stuff about you.
They ask you about me?
Is it really cooler with Bueller, they ask? So I say, totally. And they say, how do you mean that? And I say, he fixes air conditioners, which literally makes somebody cool. But he also has cool sunglasses and cool people and a cool family.
And I try to make working at Bueller Air and Plumbing a really cool experience for our technicians and plumbers. We treat our people like gold, and they treat our homeowners the exact same way.
Great. Well, now there's another cool thing I've got to remember. This is a lot of responsibility, Jason.
Life can get hectic sometimes. If you don't take a moment to slow down and appreciate all the cool parts, you could miss it.
Do people ask you about me at all?
Weirdly, they do.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Jax is more than a city, beaches, suburbs, or a destination. We're a community that takes care of each other. I'm former Jaguar Tom McManus. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling is dedicated to serving you with respect and integrity. We haul construction debris or property cleanouts for managers, owners, and realtors. We do it all. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We're here for you. We're veteran-owned and operated. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
Jacksonville is my hometown, and nobody knows roofing like me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We handle everything from repairs to full roof replacements, start to finish. We give honest quotes, use quality materials, and clean up like we were never there. We all look at Google reviews, so go ahead and check out ours. We're proud of all our 5-star ratings. I would say we treat you like family, but some people don't like theirs. Go to BrandonRoofing.com today to schedule your free roof quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
This is Hayes Carlion, here from a driver who made the smart move to buying a vehicle from Atlantic Infinity.
Hayes, this is my second Infinity, so I knew exactly what I wanted, and Atlantic Infinity made it so easy for me. The GM Dwayne had my new ride ready to go, and I was in and out of the dealership in about 30 minutes. The Atlantic Infinity promise just sealed the deal for me. It's $2,500 in added value, including roadside assistance. I am so happy with my new car.
Atlantic Infinity, Atlantic, near St. John's Bluff.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-345-2789. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-345-2789. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-345-2789. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-345-2789 or biglou.com.
Hi folks, Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Ever wonder what to do with leftover paint that you don't want? Here's a few options. Paint can be placed in the regular trash if it's dry. Simply stir in kitty litter to a thick consistency. Then wait a few days with the lid off till it dries. Also, if the paint is good, there's many charities or churches that would love to have it. If you'd like more tips or have a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here. You've heard me talking about Pella Windows and Doors. With great ratings and expert reviews, you know they're high quality and energy efficient products. So what's your next step? Schedule a free consultation at PellaJax.com or just stop by the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. Their professional design consultants will guide you through your entire project from start to finish. And that's the quality and service you can expect from Pella Windows and Doors.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. The Friday Night Lights shine bright. Friday Night Lights. Presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. And brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Back here under the Friday Night Lights. Glad you are with us. A complete scoreboard update coming up in just a moment. Also, Lawrence Johnson, the head coach of Ed White, coming up in just a moment. But first, let's go out to the graveyard. Donovan Maslin of Rains. What a 6 days it's been for him. They beat Reball in the Northwest Classic on Saturday, and tonight they get a big win over Madison County. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Obviously, 53-0 on Saturday over Reball, the bragging rights that come with that. And then tonight you play one of your toughest competitors of the year. That's a good Madison County football team, a team that's getting better as the season goes on. And you guys, it was a close game at first, but you pull away and win by a couple of touchdowns. You must be very pleased.
Definitely pleased. This was a reigning state championship team that we played, man. So, we was locked in all week. The kids was motivated. We had a great week of practice, and we knew we had to come out and play, sound football. And, we knew we had to stop the run, and we knew, paid attention to the weather, so we knew we had to put the ball on the ground and run. And we challenged our offensive line and running backs this week to make sure that we got our ground game going. And, when we needed it, at the most opportune time, the O-line and running back did a heck of a job tonight. And, the defense played lights out, didn't give up a touchdown. They scored 2 touchdowns on kickoff return, but defense played lights out, all night long.
Coach, I guess you're gonna answer my question, but at halftime I saw, correct me if I'm wrong, opening kick, Madison County runs it back for a touchdown, and at halftime it's 7-6. What did you kind of change in the second half to get some momentum on the offensive side?
We was able to move the ball pretty good in the first half. Just, when we got in the red zone, we had penalties that killed us, and then trying to get back the yardage in the air, while it's raining was very difficult. So we just wanted to stay ahead of the sticks, and I challenged them at halftime to come out with a second half explosion, just be dominant. And once again, I challenged the O-line and running backs that, the team has to be put on your back. And they came out, accepted the challenge, and, we ran the ball extremely well tonight. And that's just a testament to the kids' resiliency tonight. They continued to fight one play at a time. They didn't try to get it all back in one play. And, I'm excited for, what they did tonight.
Donovan Maslin of Rains, big winners tonight over Madison County. Coach, as we wrap up, 6 games in for you guys, your defense has given up 31 points the entire year. Let me do my Wolfson math on that. You're basically averaging giving up roughly 5 points per game. That's unbelievable. I mean, your defense, your offense sells tickets, but the defense might get you guys really far in the playoffs.
Right, and that's the thing about it. Week in and week out, we challenge each other, in practice, and understanding the small details, is what's going to make us great. Being disciplined at the line of scrimmage, not jumping on sides, communicating on the back end, in the secondary, and just ultimately playing great, violent, football. And, they understand what it is to be violent and, be dominant. And, this week's practice was very, very intense, very challenging. And it was a violent practice Tuesday and Wednesday. And, it showed tonight that, their dominance was displayed very well.
You guys are the Channel 4 game of the week next week. You play Creekside, a much improved Creekside team that just won a district championship tonight. That should be a lot of fun next week.
Definitely. Coach Sean, he does a great job of making sure his kids are prepared, they're well coached, and we're excited to host them next week, and, we're looking forward to the matchup. But, just a testament to my coaching staff and, the players, the community, and our administration. For, just trusting us and believing in us and, being our supporters and making sure that, we have what we have what we need so that we could be successful. So, we'll enjoy this one tonight and, enjoy some college football tomorrow and then just, get ready for Creekside.
Donovan Maslin of Rains, the undefeated Rains Vikings. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
It's a good football team, Denmark.
Definitely is. And, when the monsoon that went through, I saw a couple of videos from Rains tonight. Raines likes to go a lot of 4 and 5 wide and enter the ball out, and sometimes you gotta take a detour and run the football a little bit more, and they're still able to do that as well behind their offensive line. But that was a nice win by beating Madison County 27-14 tonight. Like Coach mentioned, a state power, a team that usually makes the state championship or a Final Four every year.
Ed White was in the winners column tonight over Sandalwood. Lawrence Johnson of Ed White joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Coach, I'm telling you, man, you guys are playing really good football. I think that puts you 6-1 on the year. Now, you have a really interesting schedule coming up, which we'll get to in a moment, but you got to be thrilled. And keep in mind, 6-1 when your only loss was by a field goal. So you guys have played very well the entire season to this point.
Yeah, we've been rolling pretty much all year, and like you said, we lost that 3-point game and kind of stung us a little bit, but guys came back, and they've been working hard and getting better each and every week.
Coach, I'm kind of asking every coach this question with the field conditions. I know Ed White, with you guys, you got about 900 pounds with your interior offensive line. You got a couple of good running backs, and your quarterback can run as well. How did the weather help you guys now with how you want to run the football?
Well, we always like to run the football. It's an all-weather kind of offense, and tonight we actually were working on our passing game some, and we were trying to see if we could complete some passes, and had a good opportunity to do a lot of good situational football. But those guys up front for us, they do a great job. They come off the ball, they're physical. Our backs are big and physical, so we know that when these kind of conditions pop up, we still can move the ball and score.
Lawrence Johnson of Ed White, winners tonight over Sandalwood. Coach, you got a couple of really interesting games coming up, a big one against Oakleaf next week, and then what will be a district championship game against Riverside, not to look too far ahead. That game against Oakleaf, that's a nice game next week with two of the better teams in the area.
Yeah, that is. Oakleaf is a physical team. They're always very well coached. Coach Boyd does a good job. They got big, strong guys out there. They play hard for them. That's going to be a challenging game for us next week, and our guys, I know they're going to be pumped up, ready to go.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win tonight. Best of luck against Oakleaf next week.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Lawrence Johnson of Ed White. What's your early thought? Ed White, Oakleaf. That's going to be a real statement game opportunity for Ed White. That will clearly be their toughest game so far to date.
Yeah, and, a lot of people are going to look at that Oakleaf Bowls game. They're going to look at, they got handled. Oakleaf got in the red zone 10 times against Bowls, and they only scored 1 time.
Yeah.
So Oakleaf is a very good football team. That's probably, I haven't seen the schedule for next week. That's probably the game in the city. Both teams with 1 loss. Both teams looking to make a run in the playoffs.
It was a big win tonight, a big district win tonight for Ponte Vedra as they get it done over a previously undefeated Middleburg team. Steve Price of Ponte Vedra joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Hey, thank you very much, Acker.
Coach, we talked 2 weeks ago prior to your bye. It was obvious how big this game was for not only you, but it was kind of a statement opportunity for Middleburg. You're the team that really came out and made the statement. That's a good Middleburg football team, and boy, you guys put a number on them there in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they're a really good football team. They're physical. They run the ball well. They're tough on defense. But, our guys, I thought, executed really well. And, it stayed close for a while, and our guys just continued to work hard. And I thought it was a very poised game, a very business-like game. And then our defense came up with some big turnovers, and our offense, really, man, it was great complementary football. And, our kids did a great job. Their kids did a great job. I think they're going to have a great season the rest of the way. But I think we're coming together at the right time, and we're excited. We're excited about the rest of the season.
Yeah, Coach, I'm looking at some of your stats. You like to air the ball out a lot. Were you able to throw as much as you wanted to? I know with the weather, it kind of, I'm sure, hindered a little bit. How are you? Were you guys able to throw the ball as much as you wanted to tonight?
It may have hindered a little bit, but I thought we threw the ball effectively, and still we were very multiple than what we did, and gosh, I thought our guys executed really well in some adverse conditions.
You know, your district's an interesting one now because of the postponement between Fleming Island and Beachside. That game's going to be played November 4th. That doesn't have a direct effect on you, but in a way it might because of playoff positioning and that sort of thing. Will that affect anything you guys do or are able to do moving forward?
I don't think so. Our focus is on us and our next opponents, and just taking one game at a time. They're two really good football teams. Both those coaches do really good jobs with their kids. I think it's going to be a great game, and it'd probably be a lot more entertaining on a dry field than what would have occurred tonight in St. Johns County. It just was so wet, but those two are really good football teams. And they'll probably both be in the playoff hunt, but it's far away from us. We're just focusing on the next opponent.
And of course, your next opponent next week against Orange Park. Steve Price of Ponte Vedra. Coach, congratulations on a big win over Middleburg.
Thank you, Hacker. I appreciate you guys.
Not surprised Ponte Vedra won, Denmark 41-14 over Middleburg. Does the score surprise you at all?
A little bit. I mean, the styles make a fight, and Middleburg wants to run the football. I know Ponte Vedra could air it out. That was kind of why I asked him, about, with the weather, depending on how the field conditions were, it kind of, if you're playing in a mud pit and you're in a monsoon, it kind of hinders the way you throw the football. The way Ponte Vedra scored 41 points on that defense is pretty impressive. And to stop that run, Middleburg has 3 guys that ran for over 300 yards coming into tonight, and that's what they want to do, and they were able to limit them to 14 points tonight.
All they do is win football at Yulee High School. That's 7-0 on the year as they take care of their in-county rival Fernandina Beach tonight. Kyle Doherty of Yulee joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Appreciate it, Hacker. How you doing?
Good. I'm doing good. Probably not as good as you. I know what those Nassau County games mean to you, and you're officially now the king of Nassau County with wins over West Nassau and Fernandina Beach, and maybe more importantly, you're 7-0, continuing the best start in Yulee history.
Yeah, it's been a good start for us, and our boys came out. They knew what was in front of us, and defensively we shut out both of our county rivals. That's a really good feeling to have. A defensive played absolutely unbelievable tonight.
Coach, Flagler Palm Coast next week, although their record's 2-5, they're usually a pretty good football team. What do you guys need to work on this week of practice to beat those guys next week?
There's some physical elements of our run game that we'd like to get back to that we're working on. That's a work in progress. When you play better football teams that scheme up to you, you get some different answers. And Patrick Turner does a great job coaching, so I know those kids at FBC will be ready, even though the record might not look it. That's going to be a good football team. They're double our size. They're a big school. So we're going to have to really come out. That's going to be a good test for us to, see where we're at and, gearing up to Raines Menendez to end it and then hopefully get in the dance.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to, Coach. Guys like me have the benefit of looking ahead. I don't have to say 1 week at a time, right? You can look ahead a little bit. And everybody is starting to look at undefeated versus undefeated Yulee Raines, which will be a district championship game. How do you keep your guys focused on a tough opponent next week in Flagler Palm Coast?
I just think we just revert back to what happened last year. We had a 21-21 ball game with a 8-1 FPC team at that time, or a 7-1 FPC team at that time, and we weren't on the right side of it, but we were right there with them for a half, and ended up losing by I think a 9 or 11. But had a lot of success against that team. In some areas, just couldn't finish the game. Our boys just got to be ready for it. They're going to come in with the same hunger that we had last year and how to play them. And we just got to do our job and play our brand of football and execute. And hopefully the score turns out the way we want it to.
Coach, final question. 7-0 is 7-0. It's the best start in Yulee history. Obviously, There's more meat on the bone. You want to continue this run. But if you take time with your players, have you let them know that, hey, there's been a lot of good football teams here. Derrick Henry played in this stadium, and he didn't even start 7-0. Have you given them that opportunity?
Yeah, we didn't lose we haven't lost the fact that to enjoy pieces of it. We talk about taking the weekend and enjoy it. But then when we come back Monday, we have to lock in and find a way to focus on the task at hand. We had a fun bye week, did a lot of fun things for the kids, and just to take their mind off it and relax and take a deep breath so that we can refocus for the last 4 games and pushing into the playoffs and see what we can get.
Well, congratulations, Coach. 7-0 for the Yulee Hornets. And again, an interesting matchup next week against Flagler Palm Coast. Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate you, Hacker.
You know, you're familiar with that program. You've had a lot of battles with Yulee as a coach at Baldwin. Boy, what a job they've done out there from 2-8 last year to 7-0 this season.
Yeah, and I mean, you're looking at the region. They're in a region with Rains, Bishop Kenny, Baker, Wakulla, West Florida, Godby, and they rank 2.
Yeah.
Only behind Rains. So, you know, if you're able to, you know, win it just at minimum 2 of your next 3, you're feeling pretty good, and you're probably, you know, hosting a couple playoff games for them.
More to do under the Friday Night Lights. We'll hopefully chase down Sean McIntyre of Creekside. He's a district champion tonight. Verwin Dormany of Trinity Christian is a district champion tonight. He'll be able to catch up with Toby Bullock, among others as well. We're with you for another 30 or 40 minutes here under the Friday Night Lights. The Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights. We are presented by Duck Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning, with R.J. Saunders and Dylan Denmark. The Hacker Ryan Green with you. Jacksonville, we're glad you're spending part of your Friday evening with us under the Friday Night Lights.
Saturday and Sunday, we watch the games.
We're all on the same page then.
We spend Monday talking about what we saw. Sink your teeth into Dandy Foods Post-Game Monday. Makers of quality fresh sandwiches and home of the good stuff on 1010XL.
Looking for an engagement ring in Jacksonville? Here's a pop quiz. Which Jacksonville jeweler cuts out the middleman and guarantees the lowest price on any diamond? I'm thinking it's... No, it's Beard's Diamonds. Question 2. Which jeweler in the town center has thousands of designer engagement rings and a multi-million-dollar diamond inventory? I'm gonna say... No, it's Beard's Diamonds. Question 3. Which jeweler in Jacksonville offers an unbiased diamond education, a lifetime upgrade, and free maintenance for life? How about Jim? Dude, you should have learned by now it's Beard's Diamonds. Final question. Which jewelry store in Jacksonville hasn't been sold a few times and is currently not owned by a national conglomerate? Beard's Diamonds? Ding, ding, ding. Now you're getting it. Beard's Diamonds guarantees a better selection, an unbeatable price, superior warranties with no corporate rule books, no commission salespeople, and no chain store atmosphere. Beard's Diamonds, Jacksonville's jeweler. St. John's Town Center.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Share your voice anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Are you serious? Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
If you can't call or email, text us. 641-1010.
Hey, Hicken here. Cooler weather right around the corner, but you can extend your swim season with Surfside Pools. This month, Surfside Pools offering 10% off new pool heaters or heater replacements and installation. Keep the good times rolling. No matter the season, upgrade your pool heating system now for months of extra enjoyment. Only from Surfside Pools, the trusted name for expert pool service. Family owned and operated. Call 246-2666 or visit surfsidepools.net.
License number CPC 044080.
Did you know that basketball and volleyball were invented at the YMCA? That's right, and even today, the Y continues to lead the way in youth sports programming, from toddlers just starting out to teens ready to compete. The Y offers skill development, recreational play, and competitive leagues, all in a fun, supportive environment. Get your child in the game to build character and skills at the Y. Registration is now open for youth volleyball and soccer at fcymca.org.
Hey folks, this is Denny Thompson, and when it comes to protecting my home, I turn to Tyson, the leaders in state-of-the-art home security right here in Jacksonville. Their AI cameras and smart doorbells are top-notch, keeping an eye on what matters most. Whether you're moving in or upgrading, Tyson offers flexible packages, rent or own, with specials on the first 3 years. Ramp up now for the holidays, the perfect gift for you or someone you love. Call Tyson today at 590-7979 for details.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then, strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Lauren Brooks here. Tired of shaving and waxing? At Hello Smooth Men's Spa, laser hair removal permanently reduces hair growth for smooth, stubble-free skin. It's life-changing. With over 400 5-star reviews, they're Jacksonville's trusted choice. Learn more at hellosmooth.com.
Hey Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, you look troubled. Is something bugging you?
This friendship isn't all upside for me, Jason. People keep asking me stuff about you.
They ask you about me?
Is it really cooler with Bueller, they ask? So I say, totally. And they say, how do you mean that? And I say, he fixes air conditioners, which literally makes somebody cool. But he also has cool sunglasses and cool people and a cool family.
And I try to make working at Bueller Air and Plumbing a really cool experience for our technicians and plumbers. We treat our people like gold, and they treat our homeowners the exact same way.
Great. Well, now there's another cool thing I've got to remember. This is a lot of responsibility, Jason.
Life can get hectic sometimes. If you don't take a moment to slow down and appreciate all the cool parts, you could miss it.
Do people ask you about me at all?
Weirdly, they do.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. The Friday Night Lights shine bright.
Friday Night Lights.
Presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
All right, here's what your scoreboard looks like. Mandarin, a 22-13 winner over Fletcher tonight. It was Ed White, 49-6 over Sandalwood. Baldwin, a district victory over Wolfson, 41-13. How about Impact Christian, 25-14 winners over Paxson. Riverside, all over Inglewood this evening. Bishop Kenny, 42-0 winners over Menendez. We just talked to Kyle Doherty at Yulee. They are now Nassau County champions after beating Fernandina Beach 28-0. Lake City, Columbia came over here and took care of Ridgeview this evening. Nice 10-0 over Bartram in a defensive battle. Boy, Ponte Vedra, what a performance for the Sharks. They go out to Middleburg and beat a previously undefeated Bronco team 41-14. Congratulations to the Parker Braves. They get their first win of the year over Westside tonight, 32-6. Rains, a 27-14 winner over Madison County, and a game that decided a district championship. It was Creekside over Atlantic Coast. The head coach of Creekside is Sean McIntyre, and he joins us under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks, Hacker. Super proud to be the coach at Creekside tonight, man. Just super proud of our kids and the way that they worked. Our coaching staff, I've got an unbelievable staff, and just super proud to be a Creekside Knight.
Coach, it would have been very easy for you, your staff, the entire roster and program to say, woe is me, after the 0-4 start. This isn't what we're accustomed to. Obviously, it was the exact opposite of that. You guys went on a 3-game winning streak, and you have now punched your ticket to the playoffs by being a district champion. You must be very, very pleased at the response.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, make no mistake about it, our schedule has been very tough, but we knew that our goals were to win district titles and make playoff runs, right? So we want to play playoff teams. And bringing back 0 offensive starters and 5 kids on defense, and with a very young team, starting more sophomores than we have since 2018, you know, we knew there was going to be some growing pains, and our kids continued to grow. I cannot express how proud I am of how we practiced on Wednesday. We got a deluge on Wednesday. I mean, it downpoured. And we had one of our best practices of the year. I told our kids that we couldn't have practiced like that a month ago in perfect weather. And that's just because of the way that they work. They show up every day. Our coaches coach them every day. I'm just so lucky to be a part of that and the way that our kids and our program work.
Coach, who are a couple of standout players for you tonight?
Yeah, for sure. Our quarterback, Rozzie Sperry, threw for 2 touchdowns tonight to Garen Blaylock, a senior, and then ran for a third one. Kyle Payton, a senior defensive back, had been hampered by an injury earlier in the season, gutted through it, and finally starting to feel better. He had an interception, had probably double-digit tackles. Just so many kids that put in the work every single day, and then that work is now paying off for them. Just super proud of those guys, man. It was fun to watch Rozzie and Garen do their thing tonight. Davis Baldwin, I mean, we ran the ball quite a bit. And Davis Baldwin run behind our offensive line was fun to watch.
I believe that's back-to-back district titles for you, correct?
Yes, sir, it is. That's the goal of the program, right? It took us a long time to get there, but this year we were able to hit it, and proud to see where we're going to be. We're going to have our hands full next week in the graveyard, but excited to have punched our ticket to the playoffs and keep things rolling in November.
And to that point, I was mentioning this to Coach Maslin earlier. You guys are the Channel 4 Game of the Week, the streaming show I do with Justin Barney. We'll be keeping people updated on that all night next Friday with Creekside and Rains. Knowing you are in the playoffs, regardless of what happens the next 2 weeks, how do you approach Rains and then ultimately Ponte Vedra there on October 30th?
We're going to have to play perfect just to be in the game next week. They are extremely talented, and they are extremely well coached. They're super disciplined. They're super physical. We're not going to have anything on our calendar circled other than next Friday, and that's just to hopefully have a game in the fourth quarter with those guys. And because the Coach Maslin and their team, they do a tremendous job. So I'm excited for the opportunity to go up to the graveyard. I've never coached in the graveyard. Excited for that opportunity and see what all the lore and the magic is up there.
Well, Coach, congratulations on a win tonight and a district championship for Creekside and head coach Sean McIntyre. Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate you guys, Hacker. I hope everybody has a great weekend.
What a job. From 0-4 to 3-4 and a district championship.
Yeah, and you've won, 4 of your last 5. Not about how you start, it's how you finish. And they were a 3-team district. They've won both district games against Sandalwood 49-18, and they beat Atlantic Coast tonight. So they can, work on what they have to do the next 2 weeks and then get a bye week. And which is, the playoffs, they're going to have a bye week after the last week of the regular season before the playoffs start. So they got, whatever they want to work on these next 2 games, they can do. They have a lot of pressure.
That's right. The state of Florida added that hurricane week, November 4th now.
I hate that.
Well, I guess Fleming Island and Beachside are the first teams to take advantage of that.
But, I mean, if there's no hurricane in the state and, Mother Nature isn't, affecting, a big portion of the region, I don't know why, you have to put that in. But
probably if the field's underwater.
Yeah, needless to say, teams are taking advantage of it. There was a lot of games that were rescheduled for that week, so that is that.
Jamie Rogers of Bradford County is a couple of moments away. Before we get there, Verwin Dormany of Trinity Christian. They were winners tonight over Episcopal, and Coach joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Coach, I believe, much like Sean McIntyre, who we just talked to, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the win tonight over Episcopal makes you another district champion this evening.
I believe so, if I calculated it correctly.
I asked Braddock at St. Augustine this. I asked Toblin at Bowles this. I'll ask you the same thing. Obviously, loftier goals, but the fact that it has to start with a district championship, plus the start you guys got off to, and it looks like you're certainly finding yourself right now. How excited are you for your team? They were able to turn this thing around and become district champions tonight.
We've talked about that a lot the last several weeks, and our kids just have come out after the bye week and just having a lot more fun playing just a better brand of football. We're hanging on to the football, We haven't turned it over the last 2 weeks, and that makes a lot of difference when you turn it over 11 times in the first 5 weeks. So that really has helped us.
I know playing at Episcopal, they have that turf, so you didn't have to deal with the mud, but I'm sure it was still a wet track. How was your offense able to score so many points tonight?
You know, we got lucky because it didn't rain that hard on us early, and we were able to throw the ball around pretty well. And kids were able to catch it and hang on to it. It started raining right before half, and we were inside the 10 and didn't score. We threw it 4 or 5 times and just we didn't hang on to it there. But overall, second half, we were able to run the football effectively. And, you know, we were really fortunate that we got to play on turf and that the rain just kind of missed us or just missed it on and off during the game. So, fortunate.
You know, we just mentioned, Coach, by talking to other coaches around the area, it's not what you do in August and September. It's what you do in October and hopefully November, and you guys are living proof of that. How gratifying is it for you and your staff to see this team continuously getting better as we get closer into the end of the year and the postseason?
Oh, just huge. I mean, you know, of course, winning solves everything, right? But just to have them kids playing faster, just more excited, enthused, and we just started playing better football, you know, and just hanging on to the ball, and it's really helped us. And I'm proud of them, you know, because a lot of teams would have folded after a 1-4 start, but they've held it together, and leaders have done a great job, and kids have stayed bonded, and hopefully we can do something in the playoffs.
Tallahassee Lincoln next week. A little bragging rights between Tallahassee and Jacksonville. What's your early thought on the matchup?
Oh, they're really good. I've watched some film of them in Nice. Nice handled them pretty well, but they've got some athletes now. I think they're probably the best team over in that area right now. So it'll be a lot of fun. It's our senior night, and our last regular season home game, and so it should be just a really, fun atmosphere for our kids to be able to play football and play a really quality, good football team.
Verlin Dormany of the district champion Trinity Christian football team. Coach, congratulations on another district title.
Hack, thanks, man. Appreciate you.
And thank you, Coach. What does it say about Creekside 0-4, Trinity 1-4? They're both celebrating district titles tonight.
You probably got some mature kids. They didn't put their head down, and they finally saw what the ultimate goal was. That's playing your district games and still staying alive. I mean, Trinity Christian, despite their record, looking at their rankings in the region, they're 4th of the region, and Episcopal was 3. So you would think that they would probably flip. And University Christians won, and they fell tonight to Hawthorne 42-29. So, I mean, you still have ball to be played. 3 weeks left in the regular season, or really 4 weeks with the extra week in the season. And a lot of ball to be played, man. There's a reason why it's an 11-week season.
Let's get one more coach on this side. Let's head out to Bradford County. The Tornadoes winners tonight, and I know a game that they absolutely wanted to have over Newberry. Jamie Rogers of Bradford County joins us under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Coach, as we talked about last week, this was a game you had circled after what happened last year against Newberry, and needless to say, your program must feel pretty good tonight.
Yeah, our kids talked about it all week. Obviously, I probably did too. There's a fine line, about talking about it too much and being too hyped and things like that. But came out and played a great game on defense tonight and gave our offense time to get going and kind of had a chance to cruise a little bit in the second half.
Yeah, so if this is correct, you guys were up 7-0 at halftime, and then you kind of turned it on in the second half. What changed in that second half?
The wind and rain was kind of a little bit sideways, probably 15 miles an hour at least, maybe a little bit more at times. So we got the wind going in our direction, hit a couple long passes, had a big stop on 4th down. They came out and got the ball. Beginning of the second half was kind of running it right at us a little bit. Took a timeout, ended up stopping them on 4th and short, and then from there it got to be 28-0 pretty quick, and we were able to run the ball and get the clock down.
7-1 for you. Obviously, a little bit of district situation to handle in a couple of weeks against Santa Fe, a good Santa Fe team, by the way. That'll be a lot of fun. You get Tallahassee Leon next week. But 8 games in, 7-1, get revenge over Newberry. Are you happy where you are as we enter the middle portion of October?
Yeah, absolutely. We're playing for some reason. The 23 team was really good. We peaked at the right time, made the run, but the rest of the teams over the last couple of years have kind of peaked about this time, and then we kind of plateaued. This team gets a little bit better every week, so that's what I'm probably most happy about.
And, Coach, you have a really interesting situation. Now, I don't want to get too far ahead, but I'm sure you've been thinking about it. Your bye week is week 11, and then you have the quote-unquote hurricane week. So are you probably going to go 3 weeks between your regular season finale and the playoffs?
It sure looks like that, unless we get rained out one of these next 2 weeks or whatever. So,
I guess that could be good or bad, right?
That's exactly right. So there's one part of it that's going to be really good for us. We're really beat up after 8 games with no bye week. We're trying to build some time in where we don't do a lot live on Monday and things like that. But, it's good and bad. If you're peaking and you're getting better and better and better, you don't like that layoff. But we are banged and bruised up. We've got 3 or 4 starters that are out that we need to get back.
Well, Coach, congratulations. A little revenge over Newberry, and best of luck moving forward next week against Tallahassee Leon.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all.
Jamie Rogers of Bradford County. You know that's a game they wanted.
Absolutely. I saw the game was close, and I kind of figured that it's probably a physical game up front, and they were able to pull away. You talk about, Bradford is the number 1 team in their region right now. And that bye week that they're going to get at the end of the regular season, to go back what you were talking with Coach there, it's one of those things where when you're rolling, especially on offense, that works really against you, and you don't want to see that happen. But when you have a couple of guys out, it works heavily in your favor, and you want to be fully healed before you start your playoff run.
A team that is playing unbelievable football to the tune of the fact their last 3 games they've outscored their opponents 154-28. And that is Bishop Kenny. They are rolling right now. They were winners tonight, 42-0 over Menendez. Tim Krause of Bishop Kenny joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Coach, 154-28 in the last 3 games, including 42-0 tonight. My goodness, man, what's working so well for you guys right now?
Well, when you play good defense and play really well on special teams, you get some short fields. And so our kids on defense have done a great job the last couple of weeks. Created some turnovers, have tackled a lot better. We've done a nice job in the kicking game as well. So it's created a bunch of opportunities for our guys. And then we've got a bunch of explosive players. Tonight was fun because we had to win, a game in a much different way. We threw it around last week, and this week had to run the ball. So, super proud of our kids. Really excited the direction we're going.
Yeah, Coach Gavin Hawkins, your quarterback last week threw for 6 touchdowns in the first half alone, and you got a really good running back, Madison, the junior tailback. You must have a really complimentary offense that makes it, the defenses to cover you pretty tough.
Yeah, we do. We've got a couple nice pieces, I think, in the passing game, and Carter Harris is the slot receiver for us. James Davis is the tight end for us. Those guys have done a great job the last couple of weeks. And then we feel really good about our ability to run the football with our offensive line playing really well right now too. So good part of I just heard Coach Rogers talking too. I mean, you want to be ascending at this point in the year, and you want to be getting better, and I really feel like our kids are doing that.
And, Coach, forgive me, I believe this is a district championship for you guys, correct?
Well, we play Westside in 2 weeks, week 10 for the district championship.
Oh, well, congratulations on a big win tonight. Again, Bishop Kenny, 154-28 is where they have outscored their last 3 opponents in wins over Parker, Rickards, and Menendez. Coach, we'll listen to you next week right here on 92.5 FM as you take on the First Coast Buccaneers. Congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend.
Tim Krause of Bishop Kenny. All right, we'll come back. We got to give you an AA Automotive Player of the Night. More to do with you for about another 20 minutes or so as we roll on. The Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights were presented by Duck Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning right here on 1010XL and on 92.5 98.5 FM.
You watch the games, so do we.
Dan Higgin and Jeff Prosser, right after every Gator football game, get our reaction to the plays, the calls that stood out to us.
Live streamed on the Swamp Sessions podcast on the 1010XL social channels from Voodoo Brewing Company.
Driven by Atlantic Infinity.
Greenlaw Group is for the insured. If you think you have roof damage, call 904-302-7055 today, and they will schedule you a free roof inspection. Trust their law firm to help you fight your insurance when you need it. These storms can cause damage you may not even see yet. Call Greenlaw Group, 302-7055. There's no cost to retain their law firm and no cost to have your roof inspected. They only get paid if you win. Greenlaw Group, for the insured.
This Day in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On October 10, 2017, the U.S. soccer team loses to Trinidad and Tobago and misses out on the first World Cup since 1986. A dark day for the Nationals.
Jacksonville, get ready to spice up your night at One Night Taco Stand every Taco Tuesday. Enjoy their mouth-watering tacos for just $3.49 and all day, every day. 2-for-1 house margaritas and 2-for-1 daiquiris. Find fresh Mexican street food, stiff drinks, and fun vibes at One Night Taco Stand with 3 Jacksonville locations in Mandarin, Orange Park, and Southside at Bay Meadows.
Game days aren't the only win happening in the 904. Best of Bold City named 904 Gutters with a Z the #1 seamless gutter company in Duval. Like the team's O-line protects their QB. Call the winning team at 904 Gutters with a Z to protect your home from the rain.
Julington Creek Pest Control has been serving our community since 1984. Our turf management program is an all-out blitz, granular fertilization, weed and insect control, keeping your lawn championship green all year. Quarterly pest control stops bugs before they ever cross your goal line. Family owned, locally operated, expert technicians, top quality products, no gimmicks, just winning results. Julington Creek Pest Control, our family serving yours since 1984.
Hayes Carline here. If you're shopping for a new ride, you've got to check out Atlantic Infinity. Not only do you get a luxury vehicle, you also get the Atlantic Infinity Promise Free with every new car. That's almost $2,500 in added value just for buying smarter, and you don't have to sweat it out on the lot. Shop in their indoor, climate-controlled showrooms. It's cool, comfortable, hassle-free. They're on Atlantic near St. John's Bluff, or browse anytime at AtlanticInfinity.com.
Jacksonville, archery season is here, and nobody does archery like Green Acres Sporting Goods, home of the largest archery pro shop in Northeast Florida. Come test shoot the newest bows from Matthews, Hoyt, Raven, and all the top brands. And starting this month, take advantage of Florida's sales tax holiday on all Second Amendment related items, running now through the end of the year. You can find it all at greenacresporting.com.
Jax is more than a city, beaches, suburbs, or a destination. We're a community that takes care of each other. I'm former Jaguar Tom McManus. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling is dedicated to serving you with respect and integrity. From estate cleanouts to furniture and appliance removal, we handle it all. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We're here for you. We're veteran-owned and operated. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
Jacksonville is my hometown, and nobody knows roofing like me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We handle everything from repairs to full roof replacements, start to finish. We give honest quotes, use quality materials, and clean up like we were never there. We all look at Google reviews, so go ahead and check out ours. We're proud of all our 5-star ratings. I would say we treat you like family, but some people don't like theirs. Go to BrandonRoofing.com today to schedule your free roof quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
Home of the Jaguars, 1010XL, WJXL AM and FM, Jacksonville Beach. When Jag News breaks, hear it first on 1010XL.
Grab your cowboy hat for the Beach Barbecue Bash, presented by Sunshine State Plumbing and Reliable Ducks. Thursday, October 30th. Live music, sizzling barbecue, and Southern Charm, supporting Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida. Get tickets at bgcnf.org.
Nothing like a hot shower. Wait, why is the water up to my ankles?
It's the dreaded clogged shower drain. Hair,
soap's gone, and last week's mystery goo.
It's touching my toes!
Don't panic. Call the pros at Duck Duck Rooter. We'll tackle plumbing, septic, and even the nastiest shower clogs. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the duck.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
The Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Friday Night Lights.
Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Glad you're with us as we enter the 11 o'clock hour. Boy, a wet night here in Northeast Florida. Be careful if you're on the roadways. Obviously, it played havoc with some of the games, but thankfully an overwhelming majority of the games did get played, and that was the case for Oakleaf as they get it done in a big district victory over First Coast. Christopher Foy of Oakleaf joins us here under the Friday Night Lights. Coach, congratulations.
Oh, I appreciate it, Coach. Thank you for having me.
Coach, 24-0 over a much improved First Coast football team. You must be very happy, particularly with that shutout.
Oh, yeah. Your defense played lights out tonight. It was a little sloppy offensively. Put it on the weather. It was a little tough to hold on to a wet ball, but we found a way to get it done.
Coach, how did your running back Fareed Coleman play tonight?
He played. He was like he always is. I mean, he ran. I mean, tonight with the weather being the way it was, he really ran hard for us in between the tackles, and we kind of wore him out up front, and then next thing you know, he popped one, and that's what sealed the deal in the second half.
Well, big win for Oakleaf, a big district win, and we'll get to Ed White in a moment because obviously that's going to be an enormous game. But your win tonight, coupled with Mandarin's win tonight, again, not to get too far ahead, but that for the district championship will certainly be something in a couple of weeks. But you do have Ed White next week.
Yes, a very tough Ed White team. Very tough.
And what a battle. We talked to Lawrence Johnson earlier. You look at their line of scrimmage, you look at your line of scrimmage, you want to talk about a physical battle that should be next Friday.
Absolutely. I mean, they're well coached. One thing about Coach Johnson, I mean, you don't reinvent the wheel. He believes in tough, hard-nosed, fast football and physical, and with intelligence. And he's got some super athletes around on the perimeter and a great quarterback. We have a tall order to fill. I mean, we really do. It's a lot of respect for this team.
Coach, I was talking to one of your coaches, Bubba, at church Sunday, and when you played bowls, you got inside the 10 4 times, and the scoreboard doesn't really show how good of a game it was. Other than that one hiccup, what do you guys feel like you have to work on throughout these last couple weeks of the season?
Well, I mean, we just with execution in short yardage, and when we get, last year with us having Foy was a bigger back, and he pretty much demanded 4 to 5 yards a carry. I think he ended up averaging almost 9 per carry. So just kind of learning what we can do with what we have when we get into the red zone that's the focus right now. That's the key. And we're getting better at it. Jack's he's got a tremendous arm, and he's a smart guy. But and we got so many weapons around him. It's just being able to it's easy. It's easy to run with you when you don't have but 10 yards to have to cover because we got some dynamic players outside. But getting we're so used to just loading it up and running power football. We kind of got a little spoiled with that last year, but now we have to come up with a few different ways to really what we call an identity. What is it we want to do, and we want to impose our will on you. We have to come up with something to do that with.
Well, Oakleaf improves to 6-1 on the year, a big district win over First Coast tonight. And next week, Oakleaf, Ed White in what should be clearly one of the games of the evening in Northeast Florida. Christopher Foy of Oakleaf. Coach, congratulations.
Oh, thank you for having me, Coach. And you guys enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, Coach. Denmark, you were talking off air earlier. Boy, Ed White and Oakleaf, you got to bring the physicality. And what's really interesting, all right, and I'm curious to put the coaching hat on you here for a second. Both of those teams, Oakleaf and Ed White, will have district championship games the next week. Does that affect your thought process at all going into next Friday?
No, not at all. It's another game. This is not like the NFL where if you have some injuries and you're thinking about sending them out. No, that's not this kind of game, because at the end of the day, your playoff seeding is still intact. Like I was just looking, like in the entire state, Oak Leaf is ranked 36 in the state, and Ed White is 124.
Yeah.
And both of those teams are top in their region. So you need this win for your playoff seeding to be higher. And, and it's bragging rights, too. I mean, Oak Leaf's right in Clay County, and Ed White's on the west side, but they're not too far apart. And a lot of those kids know each other. I'm sure they played ball either with each other or growing up against each other. It's gonna be a very violent, physical game when they meet on the west side next week at Ed White.
Every week here under the Friday Night Lights, we do give you a player of the night that is brought to you by our friends at AA Automotive. And RJ Saunders, let's do it right now. The AA Automotive Player of the Night.
Time now for the AA Automotive Player of the Night. Family run since 1954.
All right, Denmark, it's not every day that you get a big win over a district rival in county. And, oh, by the way, you commit to play football for the Oklahoma Sooners.
Yeah, Jacob Curry, he's listed as a safety. I'm sure he plays in the box, too. Listed as 6'1", 208. Got a couple offers from Ohio State, Northwestern, and Baylor, just a couple of those.
He was previously committed to Northwestern.
And, yeah, Northwestern was another one. Oklahoma is where he's committed to. And a big shutout win tonight over Bartram, 10-0. Coach Drafts earlier on the show when we had him on said that he was all over the field. So you don't have stats, but if you shut out the opponent in a big game like that, and you're all over the field, you would think that you probably have about more than 10 tackles in that kind of game.
And on a day you commit to play for the Oklahoma Sooners, and I talked to Jacob down at High School Media Day, a very impressive young man. Congratulations to him on the win tonight and on his commitment to go out to Norman, Oklahoma, and play for Brent Venables and the OU Sooners. We'll come back. We'll put a wrap on what has been a very busy Week 8 under the Friday Night Lights, and we'll set the scene for Week 9 as we wrap it up next right here. The Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Friday Night Lights. We've been presented by Duck Duck Rooter, Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
There's an energy and drama to play-by-play sports.
This crowd, a big factor.
You never know what's going to happen.
Wow!
Feel the energy on 1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, you look troubled. Is something bugging you?
This friendship isn't all upside for me, Jason. People keep asking me stuff about you.
They ask you about me?
Is it really cooler with Bueller, they ask? So I say, totally. And they say, how do you mean that? And I say, he fixes air conditioners, which literally makes somebody cool. But he also has cool sunglasses and cool people and a cool family.
And I try to make working at Bueller Air and Plumbing a really cool experience for our technicians and plumbers. We treat our people like gold, and they treat our homeowners the exact same way.
Great. Well, now there's another cool thing I've got to remember. This is a lot of responsibility, Jason.
Life can get hectic sometimes. If you don't take a moment to slow down and appreciate all the cool parts, you could miss it.
Do people ask you about me at all?
Weirdly, they do.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Here's your 1010XL community calendar of local events and nonprofit groups helping people here at home.
It's an evening of connection, laughter, and friendly competition, celebrating the creativity and resilience of our community with costumes, bowling, and prizes. To find out more about the Community Bowling Costume Party October 24th, contact Rebel Recovery.
If you'd like to help dogs find new homes, you can enjoy food, drinks, music, and of course, dogs at the Fall Fermi Festival, November 8th. Find out more at kprok9.com.
Find out how you can be part of the cure for blood cancer at the Light the Night Walk at ViStar Ballpark November 22nd. Take the first step at lightthenight.org.
The Hometown for Heroes Home Buyers Program helps you get your down payment and closing costs paid. Call to learn more. 574-7180.
You can find out how to share your community event at 1010XL.com.
Hi, folks. Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Ever wonder what to do with leftover paint that you don't want? Here's a few options. Paint can be placed in the regular trash if it's dry. Simply stir in kitty litter to a thick consistency. Then wait a few days with the lid off till it dries. Also, if the paint is good, there's many charities or churches that would love to have it. If you'd like more tips or have a project, we'd love to help. Go to performance-painting.com. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
What are the only 2 states that do not observe daylight saving time? The answer next.
Having the right homeowner's policy protection means you're staying on top of your most valuable possession, your home. For information on finding an agent, go to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The only 2 states that currently do not observe daylight saving time are Arizona and Hawaii.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Frank Franzi talking turf. I tuned into topdressing.com ads on 1010XL. I've heard the buzz and decided to meet their team. Well, they're spot on and they're top dressing my yard soon. And I can't wait. Make your St. Augustine grass rival fairways. Even, healthy, resilient. And as a golfer, I get it. Improves aeration, adds nutrients, white glove service, thorough. Personalized plans. Like I said, I'm in. I'm doing it and you can too. Join in. Dress your lawn like the pros with topdressing.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. This is the Friday Night Lights postgame, presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
All right, putting the finishing touches on Week 8 of the Friday Night Lights postgame. Before we take a look at action in Week 9, Denmark, when you look at the scoreboard tonight, anything strike you about anything that transpired tonight in Northeast Florida?
Madison County hung with Rains a little bit longer than I thought. Rains ended up pulling away from that game. It was what was it, like a 27-13?
27-14,
Okay, yeah. It was that was the final there at the Graveyard. Hawthorne beating UC 42-29. Let's see. There was Ponte Vedra with a big win over Middleburg, 41-14. And Mandarin, a lot of these games, they were in a monsoon or they were playing in a mud pit, so you kind of have to factor that in. Mandarin beating Fletcher tonight, 22-13. Those were the games that stuck out to me tonight.
When you take a look ahead at next week, I think clearly the one you and I are in agreement with, Ed White, Oakleaf, should be just a battle.
That might be the game of the year. St. Augustine Bowls is in that conversation, but Ed White and Oakleaf, those are going to be two physically games, especially at the lines of scrimmage between the two teams. Ed White wants to run the football and use their quarterback as well in that run game, and Oakleaf wants to as well. They want to probably spend a little bit more than Ed White, but that's going to be a really good game. Creekside Rains will be a decent one. First Coast and Bishop Kenny, that game's at Bishop Kenny next week. Bartram Trail goes to St. Augustine. Tallahassee Lincoln comes to Trinity Christian. Those would be the good games. Oh, and also Beachside, Middleburg. Middleburg got their first loss tonight, look to bounce back next week.
And, of course, Bowls will play Thursday night on 10 a.m. against Riverside, a Riverside team that'll be feeling pretty good coming off a big win over Inglewood. So that'll be a Thursday night contest next week for the Bowls Bulldogs and Riverside. All right, final thoughts on Week 8.
It was a good week. I'm glad that most of the games got in. I know we had a couple of rescheduled games, but it was a lot of there's still a lot of points, all things considered. Even though we had a lot of wet fields and mud pits, still a lot of points. I mean, it kind of goes to show you that the talent in the city is pretty good, regardless of whether what the field conditions are. If you got good lines of scrimmage and good athletes, they're still going to find ways to score on offense. And we're long gone are the days of the wing tee. These teams are still running 3 and 4 wide receiver sets, so regardless of the weather. So a lot of points scored as we are closer to the end of the regular season.
And remember, we got Florida, Texas A&M, 7 o'clock tomorrow night here on 1010XL. And on Sunday, the Jaguars and the Seahawks pregame coverage. 8 a.m. is when it starts. That runs up through the network pregame, the game broadcast, the network postgame. And I will be on with Leon Searcy and the coach Gerald Ingram out at Hurricane Grill and Wings in San Marco beginning at 6 o'clock Sunday evening for the 5th quarter. We'll have over 12 hours of coverage as Jacksonville looks to get their 5th win of the year. Denmark enjoyed it. Have a great weekend.
Yep, you as well.
For Dylan Denmark, RJ Saunders was your producer. I'm the hacker, Ryan Green. Jacksonville, thank you to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for bringing you the Friday Night Lights. We have been presented by Duck Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning. So until Sunday night, during the 5th quarter, have an absolutely terrific weekend, Jacksonville.